Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Our Torah portion this week begins with the words, Vayigash elav Yehuda. And Judah approached or drew near or came close to him. Judah is drawing near to his youngest brother Joseph, the Joseph of Technicolor Dreamcoat fame, the Joseph who has now gone from being sold into slavery by his brothers to being second in command to Pharaoh, dictating policy across all of Egypt. Earlier in this story, Judah and his brothers have come before Joseph to receive food during the immense famine afflicting the region. The brothers don't recognize Joseph, perhaps so changed by his experiences in Egypt. But Joseph, he recognizes his brothers. He longs to reconnect with them, but in particular with his brother Benjamin, the only other son born to Joseph's mother, Rachel. So he tricks them. Joseph plants a goblet in the bag of Benjamin and has the brothers searched before they leave Egypt. The goblet is found in Benjamin's bag, and Joseph declares that he will keep Benjamin in Egypt as a slave for this deed. And it is at this moment in the story that our portion this week begins, in which we read, Vayigash elav Yehuda, and Judah approached or drew near or came close to him. Judah is drawing near to Joseph in order to intercede on behalf of his brother Benjamin. He hopes that by pleading for mercy from Joseph, that he can keep his brother from enslavement and return him to their father, Jacob. Judah draws near to seek loving mercy and protect his brother. This action is a dramatic transformation for Judah. Years earlier, as him and his brothers grew jealous of Joseph, Judah proclaims, "Come, let us sell him to the Ishmaelites." Stoked by jealousy, Judah sells his brother Joseph into slavery. But now, Judah is doing everything in his power to protect his brother Benjamin from a similar fate. In selling Joseph into slavery, Judah was putting distance between himself and his brother. But now, Vayigash elav Yehuda, Judah approaches, draws near, comes close to this brother. And this coming close, it works. Joseph is so moved by Judah's defense of Benjamin and the reverence that the brothers show for their father that he can no longer contain himself. Joseph reveals his true identity to the brothers, and they are terrified. Standing before them is the brother they maliciously sold into slavery. Surely he will have some form of punishment for them, especially with all of the power that he now holds. Or, at the very least, a stern lecture and a rejection of the food that they need, anything, something. But Joseph, he responds with warmth, care, and mercy. Vayomer Yosef el Echav. And Joseph said to his brothers, Geshu na ele, come forward, draw near to me, please. Vayigashu. And they drew near. If some of those Hebrew words sound similar to one another, it's because they feature the same root word, nagash. Just as Judah drew near, Vayigash elav Yehuda, Joseph asked his brothers to draw near, Geshu na. And the brothers, Judah included, they eventually come close to Joseph, Vayigashu. It appears that for Judah, drawing near brought about an immense personal transformation. For Joseph, coming close to his brothers, who he hadn't seen in years, brought about a transformation in their relationship. For all of the brothers present in the climax of this long-running Torah story, facing a region-wide famine and intense family strains, drawing near to one another brings about the transformation they so desperately need. If there is a time in our secular world that focuses most closely on transformation, it is right this very moment. According to surveys, more than half of the United States population makes resolutions each new year. And whether you stayed up all night on New Year's Eve, counting down the final seconds, or like some of my friends, went to sleep at 10 p.m., true story, we are here. We're at the beginning of a brand new year. A new year filled with many possibilities for transformation, but also many anxieties and many fears. There are, of course, new books to read, recipes to try, fitness goals to attempt, spiritual practices to incorporate. However, the harsh realities of our world are ever present. The war in Gaza, the impending Trump administration, all forms of oppression and strife. The challenges of 2024 certainly did not disappear with the dropping of the ball in Times Square. With our Jewish calendar shifting each year, there are a variety of Torah portions that could intersect with our secular New Year, this time of transformation. And so this year, Parashat Vayigash seems to be calling out for us to consider something new, something different for how we can think about these small and big transformations we are yearning for in this new year. Vayigash. It's time for us to draw near, to come close, to lean all the way in order for us to transform and fulfill our dreams for the year to come. So, what could this look like? Rabbi Saul Berman, an Orthodox rabbi and legal scholar, notes that there are 3 times that the word Vayigash is used as a prayer or expressed desire in Tanakh. The first time is when God tells Abraham about Sodom and Gomorrah, and he tells him that they will be destroyed. Abraham's response, Vayigash Avraham, and Abraham drew near. In this moment, Abraham draws near to seek justice for the people there, firing back at God, "Far be it from you, God, to do such a thing. Far be it from you. Shall not the judge of all the earth deal justly?" The second instance, Vayigash Elav Yehuda, is in our Torah portion this week, featuring Judah drawing near to seek loving mercy and compassion with his relationship with Joseph. The third instance is found in the book of Kings, in which Elijah the prophet confronts 450 false prophets. We read, Vayigash Eliyahu Hanavi, and Elijah the prophet drew near. In this story, Elijah draws near to receive strength from God in this confrontation and ultimately wins the battle. In prayer, Abraham draws near to do justice. Judah draws near to seek loving mercy. And Elijah draws near to find strength in God. In each of these instances, our ancestors drew near. They came close to themselves, to others, to God, in order to pursue their goals and transform their current reality. Although these examples may seem distant from our new year of 2025, I can imagine that some of us here intend to make this year the year to improve our relationships with loved ones, just like Judah. Or perhaps we are determined to defend innocent people from harm, just like Abraham. And maybe it's not 450 false prophets, but perhaps some of us here are ready to combat hatred, bigotry, and oppression in all of its forms throughout our city and our country. We are, right now, in a time of transition, anxiety, and worry. And yet, for us to achieve the transformation we are seeking, whether personal, in our relationships, or in the world, we must draw near. We must come close. We must, like our ancestors, Vayigash. From the prophet Micah, we receive an interconnected piece of wisdom for how to respond in difficult, perilous times such as these. And what does God require of you? Only to do justice, love mercy, and to walk humbly with your God. And this call from Micah is actually featured on the stained glass windows in our chapel. It's a little difficult to see, but down here, mercy, justice, and humility. This prophetic call is also deeply rooted in our three instances of Vayigash in Tanakh. We see Abraham drawing near to do justice. We see Judah drawing near to seek loving mercy. And we see Elijah drawing near to walk humbly with God. But the doing of justice, the seeking of loving mercy, and the walking humbly with God require us to come close, to draw near, to engage with our full hearts, our full minds, our full selves. We are in a time of transformation. Let us come close to seize that moment. Shabbat Shalom.